Mm, okay.
Welcome in, guys. Happy Thursday. I am the sports star Bradley Walker. Welcome to the Walker Report. We are part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website? It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. Alec will not be with us this evening, but the OGs are here. The three OGs are here. Um,
Agree.
what's going on, gentlemen? Anything new? Neck of the woods?
Kind of pretty much the same as always, brother.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, at least, like I said, at least we survived. At least we survived Snowmageddon.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
hoping now with it as we flip the calendar to March that the cold weather's gone everywhere or somewhat.
It's
I know.
abating.
Yeah.
For Alaska. Previous subject. Yeah. Ever play baseball with an Eskimo?
uh, there was a speaking of Alaska, there was a documentary I think on HBO about Alaskan football, a high school team in
hmm
Alaska
I
playing
must
high
have missed
school
that.
football, something like that. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yes. Oh,
Because I mean, a lot of times, if you think if you play during the fall, that would be a lot of snow for them to be playing in, most likely.
yeah.
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 Oh, they only have like a 2 month season.
Something like that. Because I know, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it like 6 months out of the year? It's like dusk all day. Like it's like
Uh,
At
sun's going
least.
down, and
that's
that's
At
that's
least.
all day.
that's real far up north.
I gotcha.
Southern Alaska, like Juneau, and that's more up towards Prudhoe Bay and the oil fields way up north.
It's not like
Professional
here in New Jersey.
professional.
So not like here in New Jersey where we have a north and a south, but it's not like, a big contrast.
Mm, yeah. Alaska is the biggest state,
Right.
and it's two whole different. It, the
Two different.
climates are similar, but southern Alaska will thaw out in the spring and summer, and they'll get
Right.
up in the 50s. They'll push 70.
So in other words, it'll thaw faster than Buffalo. Oh, okay, okay. Hello there.
Um,
Yes. Yeah.
Here we are in June and it's still 5 degrees. Okay, well that's Buffalo for you.
Because
well,
I do watch. I think she's on TikTok or YouTube, but I think it's YouTube where there's a way that I think it might be in northern Alaska where like during the wintertime it gets like the negative 70s, and
Yeah.
it can, yeah.
she's like she goes grocery shopping in the snow, and she's like, well, we buy like groceries that will last us for like 2 months because sometimes we can't get back out of the house. That's craziness to me. But I guess if you're used to that type of living, you get
It
used
is
to
what
that.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you've lived like that your whole life, there isn't any other way to live.
Correct.
And
Thank you,
like for
nothing.
a lot of people that go, I know. Oh,
Hang on a second. I gotta check something out.
okay, what you got?
Well, no. As you know, that I have a streaming set, but I'm trying to see because the Rangers are playing ESPN. I'm trying to see if I can get that on my app here on this thing here because I know it's a national game, so I don't know if it's going to apply or not. Because as you all know, that the regular season of hockey is back.
Yeah, the NHL I think is back in the flow
Yep.
since the
Yep.
Olympic break.
There was a
Yeah.
handful of games last night, and everybody is back tonight.
Right. And of course, Jack Hughes, he did play the game last night, which I think he was going to because I thought he was going to have, like a surgery from his. Well, you know what happened, right?
Tooth.
Tried multiple.
Yeah.
That's
So I
okay.
thought,
That was the trade off. He lost a couple of teeth to win the gold medal. So there's the
right,
trade off.
right, but well, thankfully you got a good dental plan. But what became the hero of the Olympics, he didn't become quite the hero in the regular game.
Well, I mean, New Jersey's what in the middle of the pack in the rankings right now.
They're falling flat. They're
Okay.
they're they're collapsing now. I mean, they started off strong at the beginning of the year, and they were playing playoff tickets in late October because they thought, well, they got the lead in the conference, they're unstoppable. But since Thanksgiving, crash and burn.
Hmm.
Now they're
Mm.
lucky they can make a wild card spot, which right now I'll say this, I don't think so. Which is going to disappoint a lot of Devils fans, folks. I mean,
Yeah, they
yeah.
they came out of the gate real hot.
Yeah, you'd think they would, continue to the rest of the season, but uh-uh. Because
All it takes is one skid, and you've lost all your momentum.
I mean they lost some of them, all right, gone.
And it takes forever to get it back. Yeah,
Pretty much.
we've got what 30 games left in the regular season, 31 games.
Depending. It depends on how much you played so far before the break.
Yeah, I want to say I watched Steve Dangle's review of the Lightning Leafs game from last night, and I think he said they only have 25 games left. But again, they played a lot of games in the first half of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess he's not happy with management not thinking that they're going to make trades or at the deadline. And I'm like,
next week.
I mean, they're having a bad season. I mean, even if you do trade pieces away, you set yourself up for another bad season next year. That fan base is not going to go away. That's one of the most loyal fan bases in all of the NHL is the Leafs.
You can say that again.
They could lose, 80 games and they still have people at Scotiabank Arena showing up. And I think next year the season goes to 84 games.
Yes,
it does.
2 games
Yeah.
next year to the season, so you have one extra home game, one extra road game added to the schedule. So,
and this time they'll be permanent because they did experiment with that 30 years ago, but then they just dropped back to 82. But now it's going to be a permanent 84.
and will we have? I know they were talking about not the Olympics. What's
Four
the
Nations?
Not Four Nations. What's the other one that they do too? The World Cup of Hockey or something like that.
The World Cup.
They were talking about that. I don't know if that's coming up in 2027.
It might.
Because obviously Canada wants to get revenge. it's both the men's
come on.
and
They beat us a lot of times. They beat us in the Nations 4 last year. They beat us, in the Olympics back in 2010. How much more revenge do you think you want? You beat us most of the time. We got our revenge this time.
Was 2010 the Sidney Crosby goal? Or was that 14?
2010 Sidney Crosby.
The golden goal. I remember that.
Golden goal. So do I. Yuck.
But it was I was happy that I got to stay home on Sunday and watch the whole, the final game, the gold medal game, and
a lot of complaints about that though too.
Well, I thought it started at 8:30. By the time I woke up, we already were up 1-0. Right. I'm like, what the hell, man? The game started at 8.
You gotta remember one thing, guys. It is a 6-hour time difference, so a lot of people are complaining about that. Well, what do you expect? I mean, you're playing in Europe. It's got to be 2:00 in the afternoon, whatever it is over there. So naturally, it's going to start early here. I mean, if you don't get up for it, that's your loss, not ours. So
well, on top of that too, Lou, it was closing ceremonies, so they had to get the game in before the closing ceremonies of the whole,
exactly.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people are complaining about how the end of the game turned out. Look, you got to put the closing ceremonies in. You're not playing in your own arenas in the United States. You're playing with international rules. Now, look, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I happen to like how it turned out. Hey, we won, didn't we? So what if it was 3-on-3 or whatever it was? We still
Yeah.
won. Everything. Oh, this was a joke. Oh, come on, people. This is not for a Stanley Cup playoff.
Well, and then on top of that, Canada won a 3-on-3 game to get to where they were at.
2 of them.
Yeah. I wonder though if Sidney Crosby was, in the game, which I thought maybe was going to happen because I thought maybe, he was going to put like a Willis Reed or a Michael Jordan on us, like, okay, we're down, guys, I'm going in. I don't care what he says, I'm going in. So I thought that was going to happen. Like, uh-oh, here we go. Just when we thought we had one, So I wonder if Crosby was in, it would have been a different result. I mean, I don't wish bad luck to anybody, but Crosby's injury, I think, might have helped us.
Well, they'll point the fact that, there was a no too many men on the ice penalty that wasn't called. We had 7 guys on the ice. I mean, we got away with that one, but
7.
they had.
No, that was Slovakia against Canada.
Oh no! If you go back and watch the USA game, there was 7 guys on the ice. They missed it. The puck came along the boards, and they missed the call, and they made a big deal out of it. But then my thought is, okay, it was a 5-on-3, and you guys couldn't score a goal. They had a 5-on-3.
Oh, okay.
They had a 5-on-3.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay, bud. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, they missed the call. They missed the call, and
I got it.
But again, to me, it shouldn't have come down. I hate when people use that excuse of a referee, an umpire, making a call, and I know it happens, guys. I know it happens because look back at the Rams and the Rams and Saints, where the no pass interference was called. There are times that it does come up that way, but it shouldn't come down to a referee.
No, of course not.
As a result, you know what I mean? It should come down to the players playing, and I honestly, to me, and I'm going to say this, Canada was the better team in that game. I can say that.
You're right.
From the end of the second period and all of the third, they had us on our heels. The whole third period. We got lucky we got to overtime because without Connor Hellenbuck, we wouldn't have won the gold. I don't care what anyone says. He was the MVP on Sunday for Team USA.
He was.
I mean, even though Jack scored the game, the golden goal. So, yeah.
But McDavid was the MVP overall, which I'm not surprised. I mean, because remember, guys, and those of you who don't know home, the MVP is not decided by who won the final game of the Stanley Cup. It's overall in the tournament. So everybody's thinking, no, wait, how is that possible? Canada didn't win. Doesn't matter. You have to look at, before, through all the games, because McDavid was just phenomenal. I mean, he was the MVP also, with the Oilers.
He can have the MVP, and I'll take the gold medal. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So I was able to find it, and the players going off the ice were within the boundary of the bench.
Okay,
hence why there was no call.
Okay, gotcha. They mentioned it during I think it was the second period intermission that they got away with one. So if they were within the realm of the bench area, then that's fine. Okay.
See, the NHL changed that rule a couple of years ago because of things like that. Now you can't come on the ice until the other player is coming over the boards.
Okay.
You can't sit up on the bench either, waiting for a player to come over the boards. So that I think that's what there were 6 players in the freeze frame because I didn't see the whole play. So unless there was more players on the on the other side of the camera from the screenshot, there were 4 players on the ice, 2 players going off the ice. Unless 2 more other players on the other side, it was a legal play.
Well, and then again, if you watch the replay, it didn't lead to a scoring chance anyway.
No.
So
And if you and like you said, they had a 5-on-3 at one point.
correct.
Yeah.
I
For like a
mean,
minute 40 or something like that.
yeah, it wasn't like one of those short 15-second 5-on-3s. They had it for almost a full 2 minutes, and
Couldn't do anything with it.
there you go again. We were 18 for 18 in the PK. I mean, that's amazing.
Yep.
18 for 18 on the
It's,
PK.
it's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yes. I mean, 100% on the penalty kill. So that means coming into the game, even if we committed a penalty, hey, we stopped it. You know, we
Touchdown
were
defense,
able to,
man.
you know, and again, you know, I understand, you know, the 3-on-3, but again, like I said earlier, Canada.
Those are the rules.
Yeah, correct. And
Right.
that's what John Cooper, who's our, you know, head coach of the Lightning, and I want to throw out a rest in peace
Well,
to
it's
his dad passed away.
Yeah.
So he's been out the last 2 games. So John Cooper's father passed away. So sending out my thoughts and prayers to the Cooper family. But he said after Canada lost in the gold medal game, he goes, it's 3-on-3. We knew coming into the tournament that was the rules. We can complain that we lost in that form, but that's what every team knew the rules coming into the games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, you know, and then he said, well, on top of that, we had 2 games that we won in overtime on the 3-and-3. So
Yeah.
you can't complain about it. If, you know, and I
They
mean,
won.
I think I was watching a video. There were 5 or 6 games decided in overtime on both women's and the men's, and both the men's and women's gold medal games were won in overtime by Team USA.
Yep.
So,
And
the women's, that goal was amazing. She
It
went
was.
her and put it just underneath the pad to get it in there. What a goal by Megan Keller. That was amazing. I
Unbelievable.
watched that game too. I was watching that game at work.
Yeah.
And, but both goals were, you know, obviously we had the numbers in the men's with Hughes and everybody back, and my boss, who I've told you guys in the past, is an Avalanche fan. So he goes, well, I'm cheering for Canada because half the roster is Avalanche players. I'm like, well,
of course.
I'm not cheering for Canada, and my coach is your coach. I'm cheering for USA. I'm American. I'm cheering for the red, white, and blue. So I was waiting for him to come say something to me on Monday. So, just congratulations to Team USA. Oh, thank you.
yeah.
I'll take that.
Good.
You know, I mean, you talk about the format. I don't like the 3-on-3 overtime in a playoff game or in a you know, like if you wanted to do it for the qualifiers, fine. You know, I'm okay with that. You know, if you wanted to do 3-on-3 and then a shootout in the qualifying rounds, but in games in elimination games, I don't like 3-on-3. I think it should be a full 5-on-5, 20-minute period but you know, that's a goal. I understand from a TV standpoint. We talk about this all the time when it comes to overtime and whether rain delays and all those things. Is that the next program has already bought their airtime and their ad space, and so TV doesn't want a 3 hour, you know, an extra hour and a half, another 90 minutes of the original programming,
Right.
because then it bumps then everything else has to be bumped and moved and shifted.
Because we don't want another Blue Jays Dodger game going into 18 innings. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Well,
TV hates that.
Well, that's the thing too. Cooper mentioned that too. When the Lightning won their second Stanley Cup, I think it was the 2021 Cup. Maybe no, I'm sorry, it was 2020. It was the COVID Cup. We were in a 5 overtime game.
Yeah.
Columbus. So, and again, with closing ceremonies in Italy already scheduled, like Adam mentioned earlier, TV time. They already had the closing ceremonies scheduled for a certain time of the day. So
Yes.
if it was a 5-on-5 20-minute period, let's say it went past the original 20 minutes, like he said earlier, now it's another hour, another 45 minutes. They got to delay everybody in closing ceremonies to get the hockey game done. So that's why, obviously, the Stanley Cup Finals, once they get to the playoffs, it's 5-on-5. It goes back to the original traditional rules of 5-on-5 overtime, 20-minute periods.
5-on-5 full period.
Yeah.
Yep,
The
next
next
goal
goal
wins.
Right.
And
right.
you know, I don't mind a shootout. I don't mind. I love the 3-on-3. Then the shootout for regular season hockey. It's fun. It's a fun quirk of regular season hockey. But the playoffs should be. It should be 5-on-5 for a full 20 minutes. And you know, I just think that it just makes it more compelling.
Well, that too.
Because you have your full complement of your four lines. You're not short shifting your lines. You don't have those fluky, funny bounces that that can happen in 3-on-3 hockey, where you get three guys up and the puck takes a weird bounce and it's on a the attacking team dumps it in, and just because I want to use names, like Montreal dumps it into Ottawa's zone, and they got all three forwards up, and the left winger goes into the corner and misplays the puck, and next thing you know, the Montreal defenseman's got it, and it's a 2-on-0 breakaway. It's those things. There's it takes a funny bounce off the wall, and it goes in the net. Weird, crazy bounces just happen, and when you have full 5-on-5 hockey, it prevents those things. It prevents a bad bounce from ruining a game.
Well, that was one of those things, but and you know that too, from when hockey went on strike. So to bring them back out of strike, they had to change something, and they changed the overtime rule to 3-on-3. Went back to the shootout. Before that, it wasn't a shootout; it would just be a tie. You guys remember those days?
Oh yeah,
yes, of course.
Yeah, 5-minute 5-on-5.
Right. So it'd be a 20-minute overtime. Nobody scored. It's a tie. There you go.
Yeah, it was 5. And it was 5 minutes. 5 minutes 5-on-5.
Yes.
And
yeah, there you go. So
and then.
Well,
and then they went.
The same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but the same thing with MLB. With the ghost runner in the extra innings, which they may get rid of that rule. I don't know because
we'll see what happens. We have a news.
They have to sign a CBA. So
right.
Well, good luck in having a season next year, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was 5-on-5 for 5 minutes, and then a shootout. Then they went to 4-on-4 for 5 minutes, and then a shootout. And now they've settled on the 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, and then a shootout.
Yes.
And I like the 3-on-3 for regular season hockey. It's a fun. It keeps the overtime. It shortens the number of shootouts. It shortens the overtimes. Fewer overtimes take the full 5 minutes. Fewer shootouts are had. And if you don't have a great shootout team, it gives you an incentive to attack. If you're not stacked with 2 or 3 wunderkinds with great shots for great moves for a shootout, you're more incentivized to try and go and get that goal in overtime. So, and conversely, if you have 2 or 3 great shooters, then you're really excited about going into shootout, you may be a little bit more cautious, and then that gives the other team more opportunities to attack and defend and do different things oh no.
Well, and they actually, but it's funny that you mentioned that, because they said when the overtime started in the gold medal game that not everybody on that bench was going to be out there. They said that immediately, that not every USA player and every Canada player that had been playing during the regular 3 periods would get out there, because again, like you said, you're rolling out whatever line you think is going to score you goals to end the game as quick as possible. So, yeah. So I mean, that's where, like you said, during the playoffs, or and maybe they'll change that in the Olympics. Maybe they'll get enough complaints where they'll say, "Hey, in 4 years,
Yeah.
in 2030,
Yeah.
overtime will be a 5-on-5, 5-minute period, or 10-minute
Or-
period. Then we'll have another
or a
one."
full 20.
Right. And so maybe it'll go to a 5-on-5, in the next 4 years. Who knows? I don't know if that maybe that's just the rule that international hockey has in place.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It'll never change.
I was gonna say it'll be the IFA or IFA, international hockey. Would have to make a change with the that would be the Olympics, but it's not the Olympics don't govern hockey. It's the IHFA, International Hockey Federation or Association, whatever they are.
Yes. Yes.
So so that would be something that the IFHA would have to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. You said IIHF, International Hockey.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's something. I think it might be a double I. I think it's IIH. I think you're right. I think it's IIH.
International Ice Hockey Federation.
Yeah. And I guess we'll get a Russian team once the war with Ukraine stops, I guess.
Yeah.
It depends. There's a big the Russian hockey team will probably come back, but the rest of the Russian the big reason why Russia wasn't in originally was banned from athletic competition back in 2014 was the doping.
Correct.
Right. I don't know. I was more scared to play though in the final, in Canada or Finland, because Finland has tremendous players in that country. So I don't know. I'd be more scared to play against.
I
Well,
think
to be
that
honest.
the goal around the American neck answers all those questions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Finland had Canada on the ropes. They had them on the ropes. So. Did America play Finland in the semis? We played the Czechs. We played the Czechs in the semis. I think it was Canada that played.
Okay, I'm back.
I think it was Canada, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I think Team USA played the Czechs in the semis, which we went to overtime to beat them too. That was an overtime game for us. I think wasn't that an overtime game? Yes. No, it was Sweden that was the overtime game.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So the Finns won bronze.
Yeah.
We played the Slovaks and we crushed them. And Canada had to play Finland, and they won 3-2.
Yeah.
It doesn't say. Just.
And they were. I think Canada was down 2-0 early in that game. Finland had
they were
2-0 lead, and then Canada shut them down and got 3 to win that game, 3-2. Because that's when Crosby got hurt in that game, right? Is that the game he got hurt in?
Yep. I thought, Canada's finished.
Which I guess if you heard, I guess he's out for a couple weeks with
a month Pittsburgh. At least.
Sure, the Penguins are not happy about that.
Yeah. They're in the hunt.
I was just about to say they're in the hunt for a playoff spot. And Sydney, Sid's a big part of that.
Yeah, they're
the reason why
in the Metro. They're second in the Metro.
Oh, they're only behind who's got the lead in
Carolina.
the Metro? Oh, Carolina. I'm watching Carolina right now play the Lightning. They were up 2-0. Then it was tied at 3, and Carolina just went up 4-3 in the second period.
Uh-oh.
It's back to back. We played Toronto last night at home, and now we're on the road tonight playing the Hurricanes in Carolina.
Yeah, boy.
But it's good to see NHL hockey back because we got
Yes.
hockey's finishing up, basketball's finishing up. The draft is a month away, so yeah.
Yep.
And baseball's on the verge of starting.
It is
preseason.
I think the three of us know that if you're a true, I shouldn't say true, if you're just an overall baseball fan, take the next 162 games very, very lightly because it might be a while before you have more baseball. Unless they get some agreement done, which that could happen between now and December.
It
could happen.
It could. Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah.
But
let me ask you guys, what do you think is the percentage that something will get done before December? Give me a percent.
Right now, without any talks, I'd say about 10%.
10%, okay. Lou?
I'll say about 20.
I'll say 15. I'll say I'll
go in the middle.
All right.
I'll go in the middle. You guys. I think it's very low. Something gets done. Now, again, the season's getting ready to kick off in the next, couple weeks. So,
yeah.
But, who knows? Like I said, in the middle of the season, they could go to the table and negotiate and get a new CBA signed at the end of the season.
Yeah. Ask me again at the All-Star break when they've had meetings and they've players and the MLPA and the MLBPA and the leagues have had chances to have meetings and talk about it. And because I think
they have a new president of MLPA, so that may help.
It may help. He may want to try and get something done, in his, because as far as I know, he's the interim.
Yes.
And so that would be a huge feather in his cap to get something done. If he could get a deal done, to get a contract signed or
CBA,
the collective bargaining agreement. If you could get an agreement signed, it would go a long way to securing him that job for the long term.
I was going to say, if he can get in a being a temp in that job, and he can get a deal done, he might have that job for life.
Yeah, for as long as he wants
have that job for life. He might have that job for life. So
for as long as he wants it,
correct
kind of deal.
Correct. I mean, that's one of the hardest hardest unions in all of the world is the MLB.
Yeah.
So if you can get them to agree on a cap and a floor or whatever what the owners want, you can get them to agree. Yeah. That job is, like you said, that's your job as long as you want it. Until you say, you know what?
WNBA.
I've done my job.
Yeah, well, unless you get caught sleeping with your secretary.
Yeah.
That's been happening too. Oh boy. Okay.
Well, that's why the other guy lost his job, is he was sleeping with his secretary.
Sister-in-law.
Oh, that too.
Is sister-in-law with the secretary? Oh boy. Hey sis, want a job?
Well, at least it wasn't his actual sister.
Well, speaking of some positive stuff in baseball, I don't know, Lou, if you saw that they're going to retire CC Sabathia's number.
I read that. Yes.
That's
well deserved. Well deserved. He won. He played the majority of his career with the Yankees. He won a World Series with us, which was the last one we won, and it was a fan favorite too of the Yankees. So it's well deserved. I mean, everybody loves Sabathia.
Well, is that the highest number retired to this point? I think so.
Number 52?
52 going to be the high. I think it's the highest Yankee number to be retired.
Yes. That'll be retired.
So far.
And the Lightning just tied it on a power play goal by Braden Point. So it's 4-4.
Good game.
Yeah, because at this point, what is the high? Is 15 the highest number? Retired?
No, 42.
42. Yeah, 42. Yeah, you're right.
Mariano Rivera. That's right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Well, 42 league wide for Jackie Robinson, but Mariano wore that number until he retired.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So 42 would be the highest until
Yes.
CC gets his retired, which I have the notes. Is that going to happen right away, or are they going to wait?
No, I think it's gonna be September.
Is that what it is?
Let me see right
Yeah.
here. It says yes. It will be retired on September 26th. He will be the 24th player to have his number retired by the franchise. So that is.
I've got a stupid question. Why are you gonna wait till almost like the last game of the season?
I don't know.
I would think you want to
Maybe.
do that on opening day. Wouldn't you want to do that on opening day?
Why not?
Well, I think if the Yankees aren't in it anymore at the end of September, if there's nothing, they're not in a playoff race, if they're not in a playoff push, or having it at the end of September, at least you'll sell out that date because you're going to sell out opening day. Opening day is a guaranteed sellout. So
the question.
I'm going to look up one other thing real quick.
Yes, it says Sabathia was a 3-time All-Star. He finished in the top 4 in Cy Young voting 3 times. Sabathia went 134 and 88 with the Yankees. Had a 3.81 ERA in nearly 2,000 innings. He is in the top 10 in franchise history in wins, starts, and strikeouts.
Now, his last start was on September 24th, so that might be.
So I think didn't he finish? He finished his career with Milwaukee, right?
Nope.
Yes. No.
Nope. His last appearance was with the Yankees, September 24th, 2019. He was only in Milwaukee for part of one season.
Right.
Okay.
He was the Indians dealt him to Milwaukee in 2008, and then he signed with the Yankees in 2009.
And won the World Series anyway.
It says the Yankees will dedicate a plaque to Sabathia in Sabathia's honor in Monument Park on September 26th. The team has not reissued his number 52 since his final season, so no one's worn that number since he retired. Okay. So he started in Cleveland, went from Cleveland, played 1 year in Milwaukee, and then finished his career with the Yankees.
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
So I don't know why they're waiting until it doesn't say exactly why they're waiting until
Yeah,
the end of.
it's up to me. I do an opening day.
Let's see.
It's up to me.
Actually, what's funny? If you look at the calendar right now, that's exactly 7 months from today.
Yeah.
7 months from today is the day they're retiring his number.
I knew that.
So, interesting. But I saw that pop up. I was trying to find some stuff. I mean, we got plenty of stuff to talk about, but I was looking at notes and stuff that we could talk about, and that popped up. And I know, Lou, you're a Yankee fan, so I thought I would bring that up. But you read about CC
early this morning. Yeah.
So
yeah, it doesn't say it in this article that I'm reading, the article from ESPN. It doesn't say why they're why they're waiting until the end of September to retire it. I don't know. Maybe because he want them to be in town.
Could be.
They will. I don't know who has to work with. I don't know who all has to be part of that coordination. I don't know if there's something like in the bylaws, the PA, has anything to do with it. I don't know, if there's anything in the Yankees, like manual. If Steinbrenner set the rules umpteen million years ago, on when and where a player's jersey can be retired. I don't know if if that was just when CC was going to be available to come hang out at the ballpark and have a day. I wonder who they're playing.
For that day?
I was going to say, is it possibly Cleveland where he started his career?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm looking it up.
Race you to it.
20. All right, you're on.
Yeah. Of course, my community was on you, but so 20.
Nope. Interesting.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, they're playing the Orioles.
Oh, I knew it.
Okay.
Well, that sounds right. I mean, because they usually play a division rival, towards the end of the season anyway. So I'm not surprised.
Right.
You got to factor that, especially if they're both in playoff contention. Well, I don't know, but if the Orioles will be in playoff contention, I think they got a lot of work to do because last year,
Okay, so their first home game isn't until April 3rd.
They're doing the West Coast thing early.
Yeah, they're out west to face the Giants and the Mariners.
How do you like that? They're off on my birthday. How do you like that?
So I don't know.
By the way, that there will be a show on my birthday. I think. Assuming we're going to be on, it'll be on my birthday.
That's cool, Luke.
Yeah. So we can read the show on my birthday as well. How about that? Which I think is only. Yeah.
Hopefully, everyone that pops on there will remember that and wish you a happy birthday or sing to you live on the air.
You got 4 weeks. You got 4 weeks to decide that. So we'll see what happens then. They got late games around September as well. Ugh, look at this.
So
late August.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's one of those sports mysteries that will remain a mystery.
Yes. No, but like late August and early September, they got a nasty road trip. Angels, Padres, Rockies, and they come home with the Mets. Oh wow. September 11th, they play against the Mets. Oh wow.
That's been pretty common ever since 2001, hasn't it?
Yeah. But they're
usually
playing
Subway Series.
They're playing at home. At home.
Yeah, I think that's been pretty common since 9/11 that they play the Mets.
Of course, yes, but this is also the 25th anniversary as well, so makes it even.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. You're right. Yes, it is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And 4th of July is on Saturday this year too.
It is.
They don't do a show on Friday that week. Remains to be seen.
July 3rd.
Yeah. Well, I'll think about it in June. Yeah. It only happens once every 8 years. Well, 7 or 8 years, depending on a leap year. So you have to factor that in.
Imagine if football was going on in July. We'd have not this year, but next year, or what? This year, if it was college football, we'd have college football on the 4th of July. If the football season went on in July, interesting.
Well, actually, I think it does because you got UFL. No, we don't count that, do we? No. Okay, can we edit that from the record?
No, that's fine.
Can we edit that remark?
When does their season start?
March 27th.
Oh, so okay, end of next month. Well, a month, basically a month from now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The day after my birthday.
And that's what Lou. They have 8 teams, right, in the UFL.
As far as no, yes, of course they've been
Okay.
changing locations since the league started, so you don't know who's going to play what and where. Can you say this? Can you say discombobulate, boys and girls? I knew you could. How that league has survived, I have no idea. I really don't know. Excuse me for a second. I mean, you're changing teams. You don't have much of a fan base with any of them. You've lost a gazillion dollars, and yet you survive longer than the AAF. Go figure. Okay.
I think
Hmm.
the only thing, right? I don't know what kind of sponsorship they have and who their TV contract is with. That might be the only thing that's keeping
Fox,
them afloat. Fox,
Fox NBC, Fox NBC,
ABC.
ABC.
ABC. You're right.
So Disney.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
your owner is a rodent. Okay.
Yeah. Multi-billion dollars. Multi-billionaires.
Hmm. You're owned by a mouse. Okay. That's right. I thought it was NBC, but ABC has it. So, yeah, I guess they must be keeping it afloat. But I mean, you survived the. I mean, you've lasted longer than the original XFL. Excuse me. The AAF, which I don't believe anybody still remembers, and the ever popular WLAF back in 1974. You've outlasted all of them. How? I'll never know.
Well,
And you've outlasted.
I was at one XFL game before COVID hit and the league got canceled.
Yeah. And oh yeah, you've outlasted the original USFL, which I thought was a much better league. For those of you too young to remember, I'm not. That league lasted from 83 to 85 and was a successful league, but then legal trouble got in the way, and that got all messed up.
Well, wasn't that the league that the Tampa Bay Bandits were in?
Yep.
Spurrier was their head coach, Coach Spurrier, before he
Spurrier? Uh-huh.
went to the Florida Gators. If I'm not
Must have
mistaken.
been a young guy then.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know he played for the Bucks. Spurrier
Mhm.
was a Buccaneer, and then I think he was a Buccaneer. Yeah, I thought he got drafted by the
Yeah,
Bucks.
yes.
Could be wrong. But yeah, he was the head coach of the Bandits. And like you said, that league was doing very, very well. And then, like you
Yep.
said, legal stuff got them in trouble, and so
And
They
then
they were rocking and rolling.
yep.
And they had a good
And
thing
then,
going playing in the summer months. And then they
mhm.
wanted to go up against the juggernaut that is the NFL, and
That was never going to work.
Well, because they drafted Jim Kelly and a
Herschel
bunch of
Walker.
Herschel Walkers and
Steve Young.
well-known NFL players in the beginning. So yeah, well, that's the whole thing. I think all these football leagues, and now with the UFL, is if they just stick to playing football during the summer, it's not a comparison to the NFL. And if
Right.
they can, obviously stay away from that,
Yeah.
then they're fine. But like
You
you said,
wonder how
against the
I wonder how
juggernaut.
the AFL, managed to survive though a decade though without getting clobbered.
True.
You wonder that because you had the NFL, which of course was a juggernaut even back then in the '60s, and then comes on the AFL, which probably was considered a minor league, even though they showed the games on network television, and you kind of thought like, well, this will never work, but they've lasted, and through the '60s because NFL was king and AFL was like, well, I hate to say it, but like the UFS FL of the '60s. I kind of thought, but then so hey, why don't we try to come up with something here? Like why don't we try to merge these teams together and make it into the AFL and the NFL? Make it all together. Well, obviously that worked. I'm not saying it's going to work again, but that was really the only exception to everybody else. Everybody else flopped.
Well, and then you still have the the CFL, which I know. I
That's
think didn't they
Canada.
make rule changes to the Canadian Football League
Yeah,
recently?
no American teams allowed. Baltimore, what we lost to an American team? They didn't belong in this league. What are you doing to us? Take that. And then, of course, when Buffalo moves to Toronto, it's going to be that mess all over again.
Well, I do know when I go to college games near the end of the season, you'll see CFL scouts at college football games because they'll
Really?
want to try to get these kids to go play in Canada if you can. I
Then
don't
again,
know.
remember, I don't consider that a minor league, though, of course, because that's different. That's Canadian. That's their football. So I don't consider that a minor league. That's their own. Like we have our NFL, they have their league. That's CFL. It's entirely different from the minor leagues here.
Well, I was going to say too. I don't know what. I don't know how the tax system is done in Canada either. Being in another country, I don't know. I mean, do they get taxed and they get Providence taxed? I don't know. I don't know how
Probably,
that works in Canada. So
I would say yes.
anyone that's Canadian that can comment on that will be we'll take that.
That's half the players in the NHL. Oh boy.
True.
Hey,
True.
yeah. Ask Karen
Yeah.
Hellebuck.
So
He
we
plays the game too.
have
So
a WWE PLE happening on Saturday.
Indeed, we
what's
do.
The road to
PLE?
WrestleMania goes through
Oh,
Elimination Chamber in Chicago, which I heard that they are not showing the PLE in the city of Chicago.
hmm.
They have blocked it from being aired in Chicago so that you either pay for it, pay for the event, or whatever. But that's what I saw. But watching wrestling YouTubers on YouTube were talking about. But I don't live in Chicago, and none of us do. So I'll be with I'm going over to my buddy's house to watch it. So let's go ahead and look at the card. We'll do the chamber matches. There's only 4 matches scheduled. The 2 chamber matches and obviously 2 outside. So you have Becky Lynch and AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Who do you guys like in that one?
I'll go Lynch.
Becky Lynch?
Yeah, I think Lynch.
It's gonna be a Lynch
I have
job.
a funny feeling
Yeah.
that Becky's going to snap and beat the shit out of AJ Lee. I mean, I like AJ Lee, but
We warned you.
I think she's going to snap, beat the hell out of
Let's
her.
put it this way: she's got to face a Lynch mob.
It's true. That's true. The other match outside of the chamber matches is CM Punk, who is the World Heavyweight Champion, against Finn Balor.
I'll give him to Punk.
It's his hometown. Yeah.
Even more so.
I'll take Punk, but I just have a funny feeling in the back of my head they're going to give the title to Balor. But I don't know if you do that, then how do you, if you have, unless you have Drew McIntyre also lose, but Drew's not in this. Drew's not in the PLE this time around. So, I like Punk because he's at home. Because it's his home city. But I think it's a good match overall. So I think Finn deserves the belt. So we'll see.
What does PLE stand for?
Premium
live event.
Oh, of course.
They don't call it pay-per-view anymore.
Yeah, they dropped the pay-per-view moniker.
Okay.
I think Punk wins. I think you said it's his home city. He's from Chicago. I think that they set up for a rematch at Mania, Balor and Punk.
Okay.
Unless Punk lose, they could have Punk lose tonight and have him get a rematch. They could, or not tonight, but Saturday night. They could have him lose Saturday night, which sets up a rematch at Mania.
Yes, yes.
I like that.
Because I don't know because I don't know where it would be better for Punk to lose the belt. Does he want to lose it in front of his hometown crowd, or does he
No,
want to
no, of course
hang
not.
on to it, win in Chicago, and drop it at Mania? Does he carry it through Mania? Maybe he goes. Maybe it's bet. Maybe it's three. Maybe it takes Balor 3 times to win, which makes the victory that much sweeter. Maybe he wins it at
Yeah.
somewhere else. Maybe SummerSlam. Maybe he wins it at SummerSlam.
Do you see him,
Right.
Bud, leaving Judgment Day before he wins the belt or after he wins the belt? Finn Balor.
I just don't see them. I just don't see them breaking up Judgment Day. Yeah, I'm to the point where I don't think they'll break up Judgment Day anytime soon. 'Cause every time I think they're gonna break up Judgment Day, they just don't.
No.
And every time I think the Judgment Day is falling apart, they shuffle the cast of characters around, and it comes out the other side.
Well, and you guys saw earlier, I think it was on Raw, where Liv Morgan picked Stephanie Valkyrie. She'll face her at WrestleMania for the belt.
Okay.
She
Okay.
So like I said, I think and I'm trying to think of Jade Cargill holds the other championship belt. I think they're keeping that belt warm for Bianca Belair or Naomi.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that Jade has ever defended it since she's gotten it. So that's weird how a champion doesn't defend.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of them do, but I mean, I think as a champion, you should have to do that.
Absolutely.
The women's chamber match is Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez are the 6 in the chamber. I guess it all depends on who's in the chambers and who's in who's I'm not sure. I don't know how they picked that. I don't know what order they picked those in. Who do you guys like in the women's chamber match?
Who's in the women's? Have all the chambers been filled?
Yep, both chambers have been filled. Yep, all 6. It's Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez.
I'll go with Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's Rhea Ripley.
Believe it or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Ripley, but I think it's going to be Asuka.
Asuka? She was the last one to qualify. She was the last one to qualify. She was the final of the 6 that are in there. I don't know. I've been watching more WWE recently. I don't know who Kiana James is. Never heard of her.
Yeah, I don't. That's a name that I don't recognize.
The other 5 I do recognize, but
right.
And Raquel Rodriguez, you can make a good point for her because she's part of Judgment Day. So if she wins and she challenges Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, both her and why is the name escaping me now? Her and I just said her name.
Not Alexa Bliss, the other one.
Yeah.
I can see her stupid face.
Yeah, I just said her name a few minutes ago. Oh my God. She picked Liv Morgan, thank you. Right. So they could both win championship belts on the same night and be in the same faction, which you've seen that before. You've seen that a bunch of times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not anything unprecedented. I was just you could have all the belts. You'd have Finn with a belt, Liv with a belt, Rodriguez with a belt.
And then if you go You got McDonough and Dom already has one. He has the
And
Intercontinental.
Dom, yep. Dom has the
So,
IC title. Liv
correct.
has
So
the
if you get the tag team titles too, they would all have everybody would have a belt
yeah.
within the
I
within
mean,
the faction.
you could put Carlito and JD together, and they could
Carlito
win
got
the
released. They released
huh?
Carlito. They
Oh,
released
okay.
Carlito.
So it's Dom, Finn, and
JD
JD.
and McDonough. Mm-hmm. And then
Okay.
Raquel and Liv Morgan. I think those are the five.
Right.
Yeah, Dirty Dom, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan are the five that are in Judgment Day.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm assuming the men's match will be the main event. I can't
Yeah, I would.
imagine
Yeah.
it not being. And that's Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jay Uso. I would love to see LA Knight win, but I don't know if that's what's going to happen.
It probably should be LA Knight, but it's most likely going to be Jay.
Jay, I was going to say Jay. I would say Jay or Cody. I just have a funny feeling.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be Cody.
Okay.
Because I don't think. I think Cody's cooled off. I don't think he's hot like he was a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay.
I don't see it being Randy as much as I would like it to be Randy. I think it's who the other two were. Was it Obafemi or Trick
Javon
Williams?
Evans and Trick Williams.
Javon Evans. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be Trick. I don't think he's too new. It's too early for him to win something like that. And the Javon Evans just doesn't have any momentum.
Yeah, Javon did well in the Royal Rumble. He's a high flyer, which I'm not saying high flyers can't win the chamber, but when it comes down to it, you're locked in a cage, and I don't care how high you can fly. If they get you down on the ground or throw you in the cage, you're done. you know, you're done. So, yeah, like you said, but Trick's too new to give him a title shot already. I really have a funny feeling, and Trick and Oba were kind of enemies in NXT. I wouldn't be. I mean, maybe they go that route.
Yeah, I would like to see them get to. I'd like to see them get connected up on the main roster at some point.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Wholeheartedly, buddy, agree with you on that one because I was thinking about that too. Like, why don't you have a rivalry in WWE now? They're both on the main roster. Put them in a United States Championship match or Intercontinental, something like that to build the momentum.
Yeah.
Then at a SummerSlam or one of the pay-per-views later on this year, you put them in a championship match against whoever the title holder is, Drew, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, somebody, whoever holds the belts at that point. Roman Reigns, whoever it might be.
Right.
Have one or both of them have a shot to win it. Like you said earlier, you got to give these two a chance to see if they themselves can carry. I think both Oba and Trick could do that, but again, they're still fairly new to the roster, so we'll have to wait and see.
They're so young.
I would my two picks, or actually, my two main picks in that match will be obviously Randy and LA Knight, and Jay would be my wild card pick because I think Cody's cooled off. Javon Evans is still fairly new, and Trick is fairly new. I don't think those guys will win. Randy, the reason I pick Randy is he's what? How many belts behind? Is he 3 behind? 2 behind?
Yep.
3 behind?
3. He's got 14.
Okay.
He got 14, so he's 3 behind John.
He says he wants to win. He says he wants to win 15 before he calls it a career.
I like that. I think they should give him one more run at it, and to give that opportunity for him to win 15. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. And again, he would obviously have Drew McIntyre, most likely, I think that's who he would go after. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I would think that makes sense to me.
but if he goes after Drew McIntyre, which LA Knight also has a little bit of a scuffle with Drew as
Yeah,
well.
they're not exactly best of friends.
No, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
I don't think anybody's Drew McIntyre's friend. You can look up and down the roster. There's not too many
No.
guys that like Drew McIntyre.
They'll probably want to puke on him.
so
Worse than that?
so I don't know what they'll do.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because,
I don't know, but that's a good. I don't. I'm curious to see how they'll go with that, with who they choose to go with there. I know. I know. Obviously, it wouldn't be Joe Hendry because he's the NXT champion, which I think he's got a match against Ricky Saints, which I think whenever their next PLE is, NXT's next PLE is.
I really hope Ethan Page gets the call up soon.
Yes, I agree with that too. I agree with that as well. I think Ethan Page and Joe Hendry might be the next two out of NXT that gets the call up to the main roster. I think Oba and Trick. I wouldn't be, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ricky Saints get called up either, because they brought him in. I think Ricky came from TNA. Could be wrong. I'm trying to remember where Ricky came from. Maybe independent.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think, to me personally, I like what the future holds for the WWE. Obviously, you have
Agreed.
your older stars. John's retired. AJ, obviously, if you guys didn't see, is going to be. Well, let me ask you this, guys, because I saw a lot of backlash about this the other day on YouTube, that they're inducting AJ Styles into the Hall of Fame before John Cena. Now, he's been announced. They haven't said if John's going to be in or not. They might put John in also this class of 2026. I can't see why they wouldn't, and put him and AJ.
And maybe they want to put Johnny in by himself.
And that could be true also. I'm
not really sure what they're.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they're only giving it. But AJ was the first one announced, so.
Correct, but yeah, so obviously it could be announced later this year that John is going to be inducted too, or there'll be other members, other wrestlers who have that will get the call for the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, to me, I watched the when Undertaker came out and announced it. AJ looked like he was scared to death. He's like, unfinished business. He's like, what? I was like,
really?
Are we going to see a match between Undertaker and AJ Styles? Both are retired. Are they coming out of retirement to face off against each other?
Well, a lot of people coming out of retirement these days, so.
That would have been crazy if they had thrown down there one last time.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey, AJ, me and you have unfinished business. So at Elimination Chamber, it's me and you in the ring. And after that, you're going to go into the Hall of Fame. But before you go into the Hall of Fame, you got to face me.
Right.
You know? One last time.
You're not done yet, buddy.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who. Well, obviously, what the results are after Saturday, in the PLE. I actually still call them pay-per-views all the time, and people correct me all the time.
Yeah,
so what
it's not pay-per-view. It's not, PPV
it's
anymore.
It's a modern day version. That's all.
So, but
yeah, eventually it'll become, in 5 or 10 years, we'll say PLE without even thinking about it, and then they'll change it again. So
Yeah,
to something else. Correct.
yeah, just
maybe even sooner than that.
yeah, right. The next month they
Well,
called it.
and
Well,
we
not
all
next, well,
we all,
next
we all
next
know
year.
too that a majority of sports are going to streaming anyway. So it's all going to be that way down
Right.
the road anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I forget Netflix by next year then.
because
more.
the days of it being on local TV are going to end in the next, I don't know, what would you guys say? 5 to 10
3
years?
3 to 5.
Yeah,
3 to
yeah, I would
5?
say.
3 to 5.
Well,
And
it's so expensive. I'm surprised the leagues just don't have their own streaming services.
well,
I
that'd be
wouldn't
next.
be shocked if the NFL didn't do something like that because they could afford that type of stuff.
They might. They might. So let's see. Well, let's see. I got something called the TV app on here, so I get
Mm-hmm.
that. I've told you about that. I have
That's the one
Prime.
I use. Yep.
I have Prime for Thursday nights. I have Peacock, and I have the ESPN Trio. The only thing I don't have is Netflix because without Netflix doesn't have that much to begin with. But now they're starting to get into it. So maybe next year, maybe I'll try to look into it
Yeah.
because Netflix is going to be the exclusive home of next year's Women's World Cup soccer.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes, yes, and we know how popular women's soccer is. It's more popular than the men's for the most part. So and they won't show it locally anywhere. I mean, if you don't have Netflix, you're a goner. That's the only one I don't have. Well, the one I don't have that I may be interested in, I say. I mean, because there's some I'm interested in, and some, yeah, like CBS. No, I'm not too crazy about their service. I'm not crazy about HBO Max. So the only one I'm really, have a particular interest in is Netflix. Aside from what I have
Yeah,
already.
Netflix.
Aside from what I have.
Right. I just don't think I see I could see the league every league having kind of combining forces and just having one big streaming platform.
The only thing is,
I
though,
just
like,
don't.
That'd
the
be
only
kind of
thing
cool
is,
if they create their own, their
yeah.
own, their own
The only thing is with the
CN or
streaming, though, is
CBS.
that
They could create
let's say
their
this.
own.
Okay, here's what I find baffling. That all the games, the NFL would go to streaming, but you have more than one game on Sunday afternoon. So how are you going to manage that?
You'd have well, you could do it like Red Zone and just have every game,
Yeah,
and then you just
Uh,
if you wanted to watch one individual game, you would just pay for your local market.
correct.
well,
Yep. That's
okay.
Yeah, I would think that each team, you would just every the big would be one big. There would be one platform with every game on it, and the league would manage the
Okay.
broadcasting. Instead of it being like instead of CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox having broadcasting rights, the broadcasting rights would be managed by the NFL, and
mm,
they would hire it would be the NFL Network, right? You know, NFL Network exists, and they broadcast
Right.
games on there already. So
I
then
know,
instead
but
of having
no, but like because there's like 12 different games on Sunday afternoon. I mean, how do you know what to do? Because you can't show all 12 games just one channel.
yeah, you can. You would have one app. It would just be in the NFL app, and
correct.
you would just select the game you want.
Yep. That's how
So
you watch.
if Detroit's playing Chicago, there'd be home feed and away feed, and you just click on, if Detroit's playing Chicago and Baltimore's playing Pittsburgh and Oakland's playing Miami, and so on and so forth. You would just each team would have their own home and away broadcast. So if you were a Chicago fan, you want to watch the Chicago broadcast,
Yeah.
because you could do it that way, or you could have just one broadcast. All 12 teams would have a broadcast, and you would just click on the Chicago game. You'd have Pittsburgh game, you'd have the Baltimore game, you'd have
Where was
who, so on and so forth.
NFLnetwork.com or something, or
Something like that, or the NFL, NFL app,
oh, the NFL app, sure.
like on a streaming app, like you do on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I have.
And you would
have the
just
NFL app.
and you would just click on the individual game you wanted to watch, or you could pick multiple games you wanted to watch. If you wanted 4 or 5, or if you wanted all 12 games, if you want to watch all 12 games, and and you would have the option to pick one game to listen to and monitor all the other 12 games.
Yeah, I could see that. So I could see that very likely happening within the next 3 to 5 years.
I think 2029 is when the deals are up. So
and I wouldn't, with more and more games going the way of streaming, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the NFL started getting more and more involved in just broadcasting games.
Yeah,
because they already broadcast a handful of games on the NFL Network itself.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I don't know how much more difficult it would be for them how many less people would be involved, how many would it be more or fewer people being involved? Because right now you've got the 3 or 4 or 5, let's say 5, NBC and CBS and Fox crews, and then there's the 2 or 3 NBC crews that have to be available, and then the only problem with that is that the NFL would have to, because like let's say Mike Tirico does basketball and football.
Yes.
So would the NFL be able to hire a guy? Would NBC? What does that contract look like for Mike Tirico?
Yeah. Take one of us.
And then do they have one? And do they end up just combining all the pregame shows into one big giant obnoxious nonsense show?
Maybe.
A blob monster of pregame, or do you have and how do they manage the pregame shows? Do you have like an NFC show on Fox that's primarily the NFC, and then an AFC show that was the old CBS crew? Do you have a Sunday night football crew? So those are the things that would be how much production cost would it be for the NFL to have to figure out?
Mm-hmm.
So those are all questions for people much smarter and more number savvy than I am.
Yeah.
I just got a text message or a Facebook message, guys, from Tony, who was on our show last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The USF Athletics is doing a Hall of Fame vote, and he is one of the nominees, and he would like us to vote for him. I will send you guys the link.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if he gets inducted, I want to go. I'm going to go the night he gets
absolutely
inducted. Be there.
Absolutely.
You got it.
For him. I got to interview him a long time ago when I did a show called
is that the Sunshine Sports Jabber?
No, I interviewed him on there too, but there was a show that I used to do, USF Weekly Show with a guy named Larry.
Okay.
And Larry moved out of state, so that's why we stopped doing it. But he was one of the first interviews. That's where I got to interview Michael Kelly, who's now the AD at the Naval Academy. In Annapolis. He left USF, and now Rob Higgins is our CEO, which I guess is our athletic director, I guess, in retrospect. But he's the one who runs USF now. And Derek Brooks, who we all, if you're from my area, played his whole career as a Buccaneer, won a Super Bowl, is in the Hall of Fame, which the funny thing about this year with the Buccaneers, Carolina just scored on the power play. They're up 5-4 in the third.
Good game.
Lavonte
David, who's also been with the Bucs all his career, is one tackle away from breaking Derek Brooks' tackle record. Franchise record.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy.
How would you not want to come back and play one more year in a Bucks uniform just to break that
Yeah.
record? You only got to make one
Right.
tackle. One tackle is all you need to break the record. So
Yeah, why stop now?
Yes, he would want
I
to
don't
come
know.
back.
It really depends on, well, we can get into that because that's one of my favorite things to talk about. Talk about it all the time. But you're in your twilight years of your NFL career. He does have a ring, so it's not like he needs to chase a ring.
Correct.
He's made a bunch of money. And if he's been smart with his money, he's got a lot of money saved. He's got a lot of money available to him when he gets out of football, when he finishes his NFL career. He should have access to a bunch of money when he gets done with his NFL career. But, if he's looking for one more last great contract, it may not be in Tampa Bay. It'd be as cool as it would be to break a record like that. Records don't feed families. And, and he may have other aspirations post football that he wants to pursue that may be more easily facilitated by making a move to somewhere else. I'm not sure where he's from. He may be interested in playing in his hometown or closer to his home. If that's an option. There may be somebody he wants to go play for that he's never played for, coach or, a team that, teammates that he wants, guys that he's always wanted to play with. Those things. His wife, if he's married, I don't know if he's married or, got a girlfriend and kids, they may not want to move out of Tampa. They may, they've made a home here. They've been here for as long as they have, he's in his 12th or 13th season, right?
Correct.
So his wife and kids, if he's married or his girlfriend, they may be rooted there in Tampa and may not want to move. So, it's all those things that go into it. And also his value to any one given team may not be as high as he would like it to be. Or he may want to come back to Tampa, break those records, finish out his career with the Bucks, and ride off into the sunset a local hero. It's just so many factors that go into free agency that we just don't get to know about in the outside looking in prospect of being as in the most loosest definition of media personalities that we are.
I would agree with you too, but on that, I think that's going to be with Mike Evans. Obviously, as Bucs fans, and he's my favorite Buccaneer.
Right.
His agent was on local radio here in Tampa the other day and said that the reason that Mike is testing the free agent market, obviously, Mike is not chasing money. Mike is chasing a ring, and
right.
As of right now, and I'm a local guy, and I can tell you this much right now: the Bucs are not a Super Bowl team. They're not. They're not. They're not. So he's gonna go play in a Buffalo, a Houston, some team like that is capable of being maybe one piece, maybe two pieces away, two players away from getting that ring. Because at the end of the day, we all know, what does every athlete want? A championship.
Sure.
I mean, you want a Stanley Cup, you want a Super Bowl, you want a World Series, you want an NBA championship, you want a gold medal, you want a championship to, in a way, a lot of times when championships can define your career. Now, I'm not saying it defines it all the way, because there are Hall of Famers that don't have championships. Marino, Kelly. There are ones that do not have championships that were just as good. They just, when it came to winning a title, Jim Kelly fell 4 times and couldn't win one, and Tan only got one shot. So it just depends on if you take advantage of your opportunities and you can win them, great. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're there and you can't win one. Your team just has a bad game and you you're unfortunately you don't get the opportunity, but one
Yep.
time, you know,
Maybe
you
you
get one
never get
shot.
there.
To quote Eminem, you get one shot. You only get one shot. So it comes down to
My
that.
name is no.
But
See what we do, folks?
but at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I think Mike may end up leaving Tampa Bay. He's a free agent. I think he might leave because I think he's in pursuit of another Super Bowl championship. He does have one. He won one with Tom.
Yep.
When Brady was here, when they beat the
Yep.
Chiefs, which is Levante David's ring as well.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're not as fortunate as Tom to win
Yeah.
7. So there are players that
No, not really.
to win 7 as a player.
Right.
But
just appearing in 7 is insane.
yeah, how many
Exactly.
here in 10?
10. Yep.
10. So he was
Yep.
7. He's 7-3 in the 10 Super Bowls he's been in. 2 losses to the Giants and 1 to the Eagles, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
But at least you
that's
won.
right.
Imagine going to the Super Bowl 4 straight times and you lost every time, and every time you did, you got worse.
It did. Yes,
Yeah.
it did, Lou. You're exactly right. Every time after Buffalo got there, they got worse. You are correct.
Yep.
Yeah, one chance against the Giants, but no, it was like what?
I was a very, very young kid watching that Super Bowl, and I felt bad for the Bills and Scott Norwood.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was
I almost say
myself.
Ken
I was
Norwood.
only 21. Ooh,
Very bad for them.
Yuck.
And the 2,
No,
I know the 2 against the Cowboys, they were not. I mean, I think they were in the first one against Dallas. They were in the game till halftime, and then it fell off the rails.
The wheel fell off. Yeah.
The Redskins and the second time against Dallas, they got blown out in both of those games. So, yeah.
Yeah, Dallas only up by 3 in the first game. I think they were down actually, but then the Dallas offense, just ripped Buffalo apart. I mean, I thought Buffalo was going to win
Wasn't
that
it?
game.
I think it was like 10-9 Buffalo at the half.
It was 10-7. It was around that. No, I thought it was 10-7.
It might have been 10-7. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was close. It was close in the half, but then right after that, the wheel just fell right off.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. So you're 0 for 6 in Super Bowl history, and you got worse every time. Let's face it, that team when it comes to Super Bowl, they are cursed.
I think between Buffalo and Minnesota, I think are the 2 teams that are the most cursed when it comes to the Super Bowl.
Diane, I'm glad you're not here right now.
Not only them, but did you say Minnesota?
Yes.
Yeah. 29. Yeah, Minnesota and Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but remember, my girlfriend's a Bills fan, so.
Yeah, those are the only 2 teams in NFL history that have got Super Bowl 4 times and never won one. So,
yep. But tried 6 and not even winning one.
Well, I mean, and then there are teams that have never gotten there. I mean, and Adam knows one of them because the Lions have never gotten there. So
it was 13-6 Buffalo at the half.
There you go. Okay.
13-6. Yeah, I knew Buffalo was ahead.
Okay. And they got outscored. They got outscored 24.
Yeah. Let's put it this way: Dallas was some pep talk in that locker room.
Now that was the Jimmy Johnson Cowboys with Smith and Michael Irvin and Jay Novacek and Daryl Johnston and all of them. So
now Fox commentator.
Yes, correct. He is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Moose. Yep.
The Moose.
They were never in the Washington game.
Okay.
And it was 17-0 at the half.
Yeah.
And the final ended up being 37-24, but Buffalo got a couple of garbage time touchdowns. And of course, the first one, Super Bowl 25. They 6 inches left.
Yep. Lost by 1 point, 20-19.
Yep.
Yep. And I mean, you can.
And
I know a couple Bills fans, and I ask them what's the most painful one, and they'll tell you that one was because that was the one that they were in. They had an opportunity to win the football game, and
that one and the last one.
Yeah.
They were the only 2 games they were in were the first and the last one, and they were the favorites in the first one. They were a 7-point favorite in the first one.
Wow.
And that was Tampa Stadium. That wasn't Raymond James where the Bucs play now. That was
No, it was the old Tampa Stadium.
Old Tampa Stadium, and now where Tampa Stadium used to be is where the indoor practice facility is. One Buck Place is what it's called.
Right.
And that's where it is now. What's called the Advent Health Training Center is what it's called. But speaking of Raymond James, this will be the last year that USF plays football there because next year in 2027, they will have their on-campus stadium that they've been wanting for a long time. And this is also the 30th year of USF football. So they'll be playing their 30th year in Raymond James, and then they'll be calling that we'll close the book on that chapter of USF football because it will now be moved to their on-campus stadium starting in 2027. So, and they have this year, out of the 12 games they're playing, they have 7 home games. First time in a long time that USF's had 7 home games, which is weird because I thought it was 6-6, but I think they're changing that. Could you guys see the college football season moving from 12 to 14 games soon?
No.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Okay.
No?
No, I just there's not enough time. Because that would I suppose you could start it in late August, but
yeah,
that wouldn't be if you wanted it, you would have to start at the end of because
that's what I'm saying.
But then the academic year and all of that stuff and getting kids on campus and kids getting out of high school and
right
early enrollment and late enrollment and all that rigmarole. It's such a headache as it stands now with some schools starting early and some schools starting late, like Southern schools in the Tampa, Brad knows from being in Tampa and I'm here in Tennessee. Schools start back in October and in August. Schools start in that second week of August, or even the first week of August. Really depends on how the calendar falls. And then up north, school doesn't start until after Labor Day. It's the Tuesday after Labor Day. Right. So to add 2 more games to an already bloated schedule, you're having kids on campus 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month before school even starts. And that means having to bring people, and it means having to have more people on campus earlier. You have to have, all the people that man the dorm rooms and have the staff for the lunchroom, for the cafeteria, and having to do all of that, having to make sure that that's all available for your student athletes because they're on campus and they have nothing to do if Michigan was to add 2 more games, Michigan, Ohio State, or the Big Ten, Ten were to add 2 more games, they would have, you'd have kids on campus at the end of July, most likely, a month and a half after they left high school, for freshmen.
Yeah.
And then at that, and you have them on campus at the end of July, and have nothing for them to do academically until mid-September.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't fit right.
So I just can't see.
The only reason I say that is because with them wanting to expand the college football playoff, to more teams.
Yeah.
And but then again, I understand it more extending the season outward more than inward. So could you see them? Well, no, because see that would screw everything up. Because then
Yes.
you run into college football running into the NFL,
Yeah,
priming the NFL, and you don't want to
Can't have
do
that.
college
Mm-mm.
football. Yeah, because
yeah,
if you look at it, the bowl games are usually January. So the NFL is what at the middle of the season, January, near the end of the season,
you're,
the end of the
yeah,
season.
you're rolling. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're rolling up on the NFL playoffs, and I don't because if you add two more games, that means that if you don't you start a week earlier and end a week later. Add a game, you start the last week of August is the first full slate of college football games, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have that last game is what's now what is right now what is currently I was trying to come up with what is currently the championship weekend. Championship weekend has to move a week later than 2 weeks later than it is now
Mm-hmm.
because Army Navy is that second Saturday and is NBC has a contract right now that mandates that they're the only game on that second Saturday in August. The Army Navy game is the only game that can be played on
Right.
that second Saturday in December. So then championship weekend would have to be moved another week later,
Then,
which means that you're
yeah.
running, and then after that you're just starting bowl games. You play bowl games through till the end of the year, and then start
Mhm.
the playoffs at the end of January or end of December, and then you have college football until the end of January, and
And that
you're
would put.
battling the NFL
That's what I was
for
gonna say.
viewership and airtime and
Yeah.
air spots. Jesus Christ!
In
That would
other
be
words,
bad
forget about it.
that would be bad for college sports in general. If you're competing
Yes.
against the NFL for eyeballs,
You
Yeah,
because
can't.
I think you get to that point, guy. You made a good point. You get to that point where everybody goes, okay, college football's over now, NFL, and some people will
yeah.
switch. Well, I'm not going to watch 2 more weeks of college football when the NFL is at the end of the season and it's
The
playoff.
NFL. Yeah, it's prime NFL games, man.
Correct.
Those
Yeah.
Christmas the 3 weeks in December and then all through January and February. I mean,
Correct.
I just can't see 12 games is a mammoth schedule. I mean, you've got some teams playing 14, 15, 16 games, 17 games.
Correct.
No, Indiana played 16 games.
Yeah, because you
And
had what the 12, then the 4, 12, then the Big Ten championship, then was it 3 playoff games?
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah, there are 12 regular season games, the Big Ten championship, and then 3 playoff games.
yeah. There you go.
And
Yeah, because let's imagine it was a 14 game schedule, and now they have to play 18 games.
mm-hmm.
Ooh, that would be rough. That would be rough. That would be
It's
yeah, that would be very interesting.
and like if you have that, because you have to, like, unless you do those 2 games in August, and then you leave the back half of the schedule alone. Now, unless you play one extra game, you play a game in August, and that second bye week goes away, and you take out the second bye week.
I was gonna say, but do you cut that down to one bye week and add a game or add 2 games and then instead of the bye? I mean, that's one of the things that I kind of like about college football is they do get 2 bye weeks. You do get two
You get
weeks
that
off.
second bye week.
Yeah. So
I just wish they were more evenly staggered. The
Yeah.
bye weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
That isn't a problem.
but I don't know. Yeah, I just can't see them. I just can't see them expanding the schedule in any reasonable way. Any I can see them expanding the schedule in very unreasonable ways. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, I mean,
But
if you think about it, but if they go and increase the playoff to more teams than they do now, it will increase it because you're going to have more teams playing in the postseason. More games are going to get played, and I think it might be the SEC or the Big Ten or both that want to get rid of conference championship games. Excuse me, not conference games.
Yes, yeah.
Conference championship games. They want to
I
get
mean,
rid of those, and then that way, I guess the committee picks which teams, or by record, which teams get in, which teams have the bye, something like that. It's a convoluted system right
the
now.
whole damn thing is convoluted.
What? No, I agree. I agree. I agree.
you know, like if you did away with the just are we if we do away with championship week, which is fine. I have a championship week is only fun if you're there.
Right.
Right.
I wouldn't mind if they did away with championship week, and then and did away with the if they I could see them going to a 13 game schedule and doing away with championship week. Everybody plays, doing away with that second bye, and everybody plays 13 games.
I know they were speaking. I saw an article earlier this week that I read that they were talking about possibly moving up Army Navy to
Okay.
get away from that first Saturday in December, moving it up because of the conference championship games and stuff like that.
You mean back when they used to play the day after Thanksgiving?
I don't know, because if you think about it now, Army and Navy are both in the American Conference. So if one of or both of them are in the conference championship game, or unless, again, like Adam said, they do away with championship week, and
Right. Shame.
I mean, that could be what they might do in the future.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Neither would I. Neither would I.
I think, unfortunately, it comes down to more money. However, they can make more money. That's the first time I've seen the Lightning lose in a long time.
And the Devils now 0-2 since coming back from the break. Okay.
Yeah, they lost 5-4 to Carolina. Okay.
Carolina is always tough. They always play tough. They always beat the Devils.
Well, they're on top of the Metro right now too.
Yep. Carolina's going to run away with that division.
Well, I mean, it'll come down to, I think the trade deadline in NHL, I think, is next week.
Yep,
I think
the
it's
5th.
March 5th. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see who we could talk about that. See, March.
Yep.
Be able to.
I plan to next week.
Is that the day of our show?
Yes.
The 5th. Yeah. So we can kind of go over all the trades and stuff that went down during the trade deadline.
I was going to say I'm going to plead
The day after.
Day after. Okay.
Yeah, the trade deadline is the 6th at 3 p.m.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay. I was close.
Do you think? I don't think Tampa Bay really needs to make any splashes.
I think the only thing we would need, Bud, probably would be on defense. I think that might be. But the funny thing is, I was listening to I watched Steve Dangle with the Leafs
religiously.
And he talked about it. He said it's funny that the Lightning lose players and they get better. He goes, Braden Point was out for a long time and they won games. Now Anthony Cirelli's out and they're still winning games. He goes, how is that they lose players and yet they're still winning hockey games? So
great coaching.
Yeah.
That's what it all.
Yeah.
Great save.
When it comes down, That's how I think. I think you're exactly right. If you have a good head coach and you can bring guys in from the minors and they fit right in, that's a great coach.
And
That's what. Yeah,
not asking them to do too much.
correct. And then again, having your players that are already there, kind of like that next man up mentality, where
Yeah.
they fill in that gap, which sometimes it's easier said than done when if a player goes down,
Yeah.
depending on what caliber player they are, to go down and then you can have someone fill in that gap until that player gets back. But then in some cases, that player that fills in is better than the player that got hurt, ends up being better than the player that got hurt. So,
Well, when a big time guy goes down, especially in hockey, everybody steps up their game. Everybody picks up the slack. And it's noticeable when a big time guy like a Braden Point goes down. Everybody works a little bit harder. And they help protect the kids coming up and making sure that they don't have to do too much. Everybody checks a little bit harder. Everybody makes, smarter decisions with the puck. Everybody's a little bit more focused because they know they don't have that guy in the lineup right now.
correct.
And so it makes it minimizes a loss when you have a handful of great players like Tampa Bay usually does in recent history. Another good save. So
Wow.
and so it makes it so much. Everybody has just a little bit more work.
Well, I think if you look at that now, most likely you're going to have a lot of those type of players stepping up in Pittsburgh since Crosby's out to kind of keep that momentum that the
Yeah.
Penguins have had going in to keep that playoff spot alive, for Pittsburgh. So you'll see them try to step up and fill in that gap until Sidney comes back.
Yeah, until Sidney can get back.
How
So
are they
he can
going
get.
to do without him?
I
How are they going to do without Crosby?
that's a
Well,
good.
it's like we were
That's
just
yeah.
everybody's gonna have to step up. Everybody's gonna have to chip in a little bit more,
Yeah.
make smarter decisions. They beat Jersey 4-1 earlier tonight.
Well, Jersey's on a
And
slump, so that's
three goal third period. Malkin had a pair of assists.
I can't believe that guy's still playing.
I know. Cernak had a goal. Clifton had a
He's dying
goal.
today.
It's
Yeah.
just it's fine.
Pittsburgh's 8 points behind Calgary, Carolina.
Yeah,
Mathematically, they can beat him, but realistically,
mathematically they're still in it, but
yeah, I'm
in
sure. I'm
that
saying
in the
in
hunt,
that division, mathematically, yeah, they can still take him, but realistically, probably not.
it's a tough road to hoe.
Oh yeah,
Because right now in the Eastern Conference, if the season ended today, the two wildcard teams would be Detroit and Boston. Would be the two wildcard.
Yeah,
Boston.
Yeah, they would be, and because the Capitals are 4 points behind Boston for the final wildcard spot right now, and Columbus is only 6 points back. So that's not this time of the year. You're getting close to that nitty gritty of can't fall
Yeah,
points behind. Um, And also, that would be kind of cool. Look, the Western Conference right now would be Utah and Seattle. Wow. That'd be interesting. The two most newest teams to the NHL would be um, in the Western.
technically Utah's new, but
Yeah, it would be the East would be Tampa Bay, Montreal, Buffalo, Carolina, Pittsburgh, the Islanders, the Red Wings, and the Bruins.
Islanders.
The West would be the
Yeah,
Avs, the Stars, the Wild, the Knights, the Ducks, the Oilers, the Mammoth, and the Kraken would be your Western Conference teams. That means LA would miss Nashville, and I gotta say that San Jose is surprising the shit out of me this year. this year. They got to
I'm
be one
not.
of the surprise teams in the
I'm
league.
not. I'm not surprised.
But
You got the next superstar in the league on that team.
in San Jose,
Hmm.
Yeah, and that Celebrini kid.
That's the one.
And Pittsburgh has three more. Pittsburgh, Carolina face off against each other three more times this year, so they can't catch them in in the games that they have left against each other.
correct.
So they need some help down the road to get to catch back up. But they're still in a great playoff position with a huge win tonight. So when it comes to the trade deadline, like more than anything, it's just getting healthy and staying healthy.
Correct. And then obviously, as we all know too, when it comes to hockey, is if your goaltender can get hot, if he gets hot, you win. You win.
At the right time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
And
obviously if you look back at the gold medal game, Hellenbuck got hot.
Hellebuck stood on his freaking head, man.
Uh-huh.
He took everything away from Canada. He had them missing the net. He had them missing. He was so on fire. He had them missing wide open shots, for God's sakes.
Well, the paddle save might be one of the greatest saves in Olympic history.
Easily top 5 save, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
and at the end of the day, we're in that stretch of the season where you've got what you got. And there ain't no reinforcements coming, man.
Mm-hmm.
You better dig in and hold the line.
Yeah.
Because there's no one coming behind.
Well,
we've
and
got
then
to.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing on him was because I think he was in Four Nations and struggled. I don't think he was in the gold medal.
Right.
As the goalie, I don't remember.
I can't remember if it was Ottinger that got the start or Hull. I think it was Ottinger got the start in the Four Nations.
I believe it was.
And but to wrap up on the as we wind down the show for tonight, we're in that part of the season where everybody who's up is gonna be up. Come on! Oh!
Yeah. There you have it, folks.
Overtime winner, Larkin.
Nice.
Idiot. Speaking, so you've got who you've got, and I find sometimes that when teams do make a trade, it ruins team chemistry.
Yeah.
The new guy just doesn't fit with the and everybody says all the right things. Oh, we're so happy to have him, and we're excited to see him here. And we can't wait to work with the new guy. But so many times it just doesn't click. It just doesn't. It never comes together in the way you thought it was going to, or the way you wanted it to, the way you were hoping it would. And what ends up happening is that new guy just doesn't produce enough. Doesn't produce. Whether it be a defenseman, he gives up makes too many mistakes defensively. He just doesn't fit the system. And what the coach is trying to do. He's come from his key. I can't think of anybody who might be on. But I think was it Dougie Hamilton there in New Jersey? Let's say he's available, and he'd be a great addition for the Red Wings. A big stand-up defenseman.
Yes,
but maybe he just doesn't fit what Todd McClellan is trying to do here in Detroit.
Right.
And he just doesn't. Oh wow! I didn't realize it was that early.
I was going to say that the Lightning had that happen with Tanner Jeannot. We brought him in, and he never seemed to fit.
And I need to issue a quick correction. I didn't realize it, but the NHL went to 4-on-4 overtime in 1999.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
Oh, yeah,
realize it
that,
was
Okay.
that early. I thought it was much later than that. And then the 3-on-3
no,
started back in 2015.
So they
So
did.
just
So
one of the
they did.
issues.
They did what, the 4-on-4 for 16 years, something like
Yeah,
that. Is my math
mhm,
something like that.
right?
Yeah. And then
yeah.
yeah, and before that it was just a tie. It was 1969, I think is what it said. 69 to 99, 65, 69, somewhere in there. It's a 99, and then from 99 until 2015, it was four
Would
on
you
four. I didn't realize it started that early.
would you
Yeah.
guys be okay with if they went to 4-on-4 instead of 3-on-3 in the
Keep
playoffs?
it one.
No,
4-on-4.
no,
Or
Plus,
5-on-5? Just
I
leave it
want
5
five
on
on five
5.
hockey.
Okay.
I
do
want five
four on
on five
four. You can get a
hockey.
goal better. Do 4-on-4. You can get more open ice. That's what you want. You want to try to find ways to win instead of just dragging it on until 3 o'clock in the morning.
I want three. There's nothing better than a Game 7 Stanley Cup Final 5 overtime marathon. Fourth pot of coffee. Stay up late.
I was gonna say,
If
well,
you got if
If you
you're up
can,
till 3 o'clock in the morning telling your boss, "I'm not coming in tomorrow, boss." Why? I was up watching that marathon Game 7 last night.
did you
like clear
too?
your calendar. It's Game 7. You better clear your calendar and be ready for a long night.
Right.
It's like as long as you're on the as long as you're on as long as you're the team you're pulling for is on the right end of one of those, it's a good night. And
Correct.
yeah, I've been on the wrong end of quite a few of those over the course of my sports enjoyment years. And then
As
the
have
whole
I.
thing was a waste of time, and I don't know why I even bothered. So
Yeah, I have. I've been on the losing end of those in
I
your life.
Yeah.
I would much rather
Then,
get waffle stomped and dog walked and be done at halftime and turn it off
Uh,
and go find something else to do than
yeah.
sit.
but it's hard. It's hard to go to bed because you're pissed off. You're
Yeah.
pissed
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
So it's hard to go to sleep
Happened to me.
because you're mad.
Happened to
So
me.
it's like shit. I can't go to bed now. I've been up
yeah,
for
Yeah, I can't
oh,
3
sleep
hours
now.
past my bedtime, and I
Get
gotta
so upset.
figure out how to turn my damn brain off to go to bed, but I can't because I'm mad because my team.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'll tell you,
You know,
it happened most recently to me because, like as I mentioned, the Dodgers and the Goofy Blue Jays were playing. It was what, game 3 or 4 of the World Series. The game went on and on. I was on another show, and like it's 2 a.m. I don't know if I can hold out this long. I'm like, I gotta go. Like, all right, good night. Like, oh my goodness, like how long does this game go on for? Turns out it lasted another hour. I never would have made another hour with that.
mm,
Ugh. Get some sleep. Everybody's like, go get some sleep, will you? I thought it'd be on when the sun came up. Let's see. It's 7:30. It's 7 a.m. Okay, nothing. Well, I didn't miss much. Ugh.
well, with that, gentlemen, you want to call it a show right there?
sounds
Okay.
good to me.
Go ahead, Lou. Talk about your show.
All right. Enhanced Sports Show rolls on Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. We're going to wrap up the Olympics. Some great moments, as you probably know. We'll talk about the MLB preseason, which is already happening. The return of the NHL season now in progress. I'm going to take some college basketball predictions now that we're 2 weeks away from ending the regular season because the conference tournaments will start soon enough. So I'll take predictions, but only for the Sunday games because I can't do the whole week, of course. Um, any NFL off-season news, which I'm sure is going to happen. And UFC, I'm going to do some boxing talk because I think they're starting a new senior citizen boxing league. Yeah, you guys might know what I'm talking about. No, you might find it interesting. So you might call in, you'll find what I'm talking about. Some of you already know.
I know. I
Yeah,
would have
some of
brought
you
it up
already
if I had
know.
remembered, but I forgot about it.
Mm. Yeah, of course, regular features, the ridiculous on of the week, sports trivia, this day in sports history. We'll do a dog show. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Remember, guys, I do this app lib. This day in sports history, the inspiring story of the week, and the best and worst of February. I might do some of them as well. Oh boy. Okay. And it's also a special show because it's a milestone show for me because this will be the 400th time I'll be hosting the show. So that's a little extra added.
Congratulations.
Yes. 8 years and still going, folks. Can you believe it? You cannot.
We did write a script for him, but the dog ate it.
Yes.
Again?
Something about the dog.
Again they feed the script.
Correct.
So
I hope.
So anyway, it's Saturday.
Johnny.
Anyway, 463rd time on Saturday, 512-543-4662, whether I have a script or not. Okay. Don't forget to like and share the Facebook page. And we're on Facebook Live unless the dog eats it. So we'll have to see about that. Okay.
You got the asshole of the duck.
Thank you.
You got the ass of the duck.
Oh, thanks, guys. This was the OG crew tonight. So we will be back next week.
OG.
At 8 o'clock. Thanks to the men and women of our armed services and our first responders for doing what you do. We wouldn't be able to do with what we're doing on here. Thanks to these two gentlemen for making this night, as always, great. And I don't mean to brag, but we've had a good year so far. All of our shows have been pretty fun, which makes the year go by, and it makes it really fun. Like I said, we'll be back next week. We'll go over the, obviously, Elimination Chamber. We'll talk about the preview the NHL trade deadline, as it will be the day after our show. But until then, guys, everyone stay safe out there. I am the sports director, Bradley Walker. This has been the Walker Report. We are a part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website, it's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. Until next Thursday, everyone stay safe. Peace.
Good night. Okay, I just gotta get out of here.
Have a good night, and we'll be back with the Geriatric Boxing League next week.